Hi, my name is Peaceworth Maquba. I grew up a hostela, guys. I grew up a hostela in Claremont. I was at the D section, which is basically a women's hostel, and the people who lived there were basically people who worked at a cotton factory. And so my grandmother worked at a cotton factory, which is how we ended up living there. This is how my t-shirt business came about. I was sitting in the office and I was like thinking to myself, what is masculinity and what is femininity? I literally knew Guti, I was that kind of person that mangvuga. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but I've always been masculine. One of the things that was challenging for me growing up there, it was the whole privacy thing. The concept of privacy did not exist in the place in the place that I grew up in. Like, it did not exist. It was a concept that, you know, you could only dream of, and I craved it. I craved it a lot, and I went in search for it at a very young age. Not at a very young age, I feel like 19, 20 is like old. But I went to just search for me in a space where I won't be outed, in a space where I will take my own time to process my own journey and to process my own experiences and to process my own becoming. Because, you know, being in an area where your every move is being seen, it's kind of extremely uncomfortable. Yes, already when you step out of the house, that's what you sign up for. You're going to be seen and all of that. And I grew up walking around looking down and stuff like that. But there was just so much pressure. There was just so much pressure of existing in a female body that I had to embrace it too. Like, it was by fire, by force. I had to embrace the fact that I'm in a female body somehow. It was such a strange place to exist in, where it's just like, hey, I'm existing as a woman, but then at the same time, when I get into a relationship with a woman, I have to explain to that person that, okay, so I'm a woman, right, but I'm not a woman in that way. And it was, it's a journey, even that thing. It's a crazy journey. I didn't have an identity. I couldn't identify myself in anyone, and I tried to, because, you know, as people, that's just how we learn about ourselves by identifying or trying to find commonalities with other people about ourselves. And I realized, just by talking about how crazy my hormones are with my friends, that nope, we're not the same. All of my t-shirts came about as a journey, not to only speak to the person who's wearing the t-shirt, but to also speak to the person who is seeing the person wearing the t-shirt. I left corporate completely. I shut down. I left corporate in 2016. Yeah, that was my last year of working. In March. April, I was out. I was back in Durban at home, and I was ready to start my journey as a photographer. It was scary at first because, you know, people pride themselves with their qualifications. They pride themselves with the effort and the time that they spent in acquiring their qualifications. And I didn't acquire any qualification in photography. I just knew that I wanted to do it. And YouTube is there. YouTube is your friend. Google is your friend. And we live in such a great age of information that we have so much access to it. And, you know, I'm completely grateful for that. And I just taught myself. I taught myself the editing style that I use. I taught myself the shooting style that I use. I taught myself all these things. And when I started doing the photography, and I was working with this other friend who mentored me and held my hand through my first paying shoots, it was such an amazing experience to have someone affirm you, Uguti, actually this is called the rule of thirds and you're already doing it, you know what I mean?